Welcome to Geektionary. My name's Corey Hales, and this is the geekiest podcast you'll probably ever hear, where I will try to teach you, along with my friends, about the nerdier things in life. Let's talk about it. Alright, so on today's episode of Geektionary, which hopefully by now you've noticed I've changed a little bit because it's Halloween when this comes out. Barring tragedy. Anyways, today's very spooky topic is Oregon Trail. And I'm with Paul again.
What's up?
Because Therese, she has school and stuff to do. Paul has school and stuff to do too, but, he prioritizes.
I should start getting paid for these.
That was an awesome response.
Yes, it was.
Alright, so yeah, Oregon Trail, which... It was so shocking when I found out Christy, my cousin, doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like and the thing is, I know that there's going to be a few listeners that are probably like young and don't know what that is.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's a classic game. Like I played it back in like elementary school.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sorry for just dating myself.
Well, the thing is, like, I remember on the computer, it was on one of those huge floppy disks, like the ones that were about the size of another old thing that doesn't exist anymore, about the size of a McDonald's pizza box.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's
taking it back. Remember those?
I fucking hated those pizzas.
I loved them.
They were always screaming hot, and they just burned the roof of my mouth, and then I can't taste anything anymore.
Yeah, it tasted like fire and pain, but it was it was a good...
I liked their crust. They had like kind of like
it was like a shitty little deep dish pizza, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
It's like if you go to a fucking like superstore or something and get those deep dish microwave pizzas. That's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except you're not going to kill yourself by eating it.
No.
Anyways, speaking of the past, Oregon Trail was first produced in 1974, so that's even before our times.
Actually, sorry, I gotta correct you. Actually, no, wait, sorry.
It was produced.
Yes. It said in 1971 and produced by the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium.
MEC.
Yeah, in 1974.
Yep. I'm the one with the notes here, Paul.
I got my trusty friend Wikipedia right here.
Where do you think I get my notes, Paul? I get basic information.
Hey, I'm here to help.
All right. Yeah, you did pull me out of a jam too. So, anyways, for people that don't know, just to get this out of the way, the player is a wagon leader in 1848, and you travel from Independence, Missouri to the Willamette Valley in Oregon, which I know that sounds like just an exciting game, but it was one of the first games a lot of people were introduced to video games with.
Yeah.
At school, people huddled around a computer, black and green, and later on color.
Yes.
Just this awful looking thing, this terrible wagon going across the screen.
Yeah. I remember that game. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember Oregon Trail. It was one of the first ones where it was a game where you had to do things and you got things. Like, you actually had, you could interact.
It was cause and effect. Yeah. You did something and there's an effect.
Yes. I don't know.
Usually death.
Yes. But a game before that even before, was Number Munchers. I don't know if you remember that, where you do the integers and, like, your factors, and,
that sounds sort of familiar. But
let's see. You almost have like a bingo board.
Okay.
And then it says find your factors, and you got to go munch. Like, your little character walks up on each board like spot.
Oh my god! I think I know that game. Oh wow!
And if it's a factor, you munch it, and if you don't, you get 3 lives.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I can almost picture it. Like I know. A
little green guy.
Yeah. Did the numbers have faces? Oh. Am I just making this game much more terrifying for children than it was?
No. Like, the numbers had they were just the numbers, but some of the spaces turned into monsters that would chase you. So like it would force you to like kind of really think on your toes.
You had to think ahead as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
That was one of those weird, those sudden huge things of nostalgia where you're not even really sure if you're remembering it. You know?
Exactly.
It's such a vague memory.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, like I said, the original back in '74 was green and black, and didn't have a standalone version. It was always part of a package, or it would be something that was sent strictly to schools.
Yeah. No, it was educational to start.
Oh yeah,
100%.
It was through and through. It still is educational. The standalone versions were released in 81, 92, fucking 11 years.
Yeah.
93, 96, when it was Oregon Trail 2, which was apparently a bit more accurate. I assume you died all the more in that.
I think, Oregon Trail 2 was a little more it was updated.
Yeah.
A lot, because you could actually say someone died in your party, you could have a funeral.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember? Okay, that was one of my notes, actually, because that was one of the hugest memories that I had is when you have the funeral, you can write the epitaph.
Yes.
Which you can also choose the names of your people, so they're usually like Poop McButtmunch.
Yeah.
And then Poop McButtmunch lies here, epitaph. He died because he shit too much, or something like that. Which was easily one of the hugest highlights of the game, because no one could beat it.
Yeah. that totally reminds me of, just say when you play a pinball game or something, and you got to do the 3 letters for your thing. It's like ass or poo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just 666.
Or gay or something.
Yeah. It's so cool if you can see someone who gets 3 scores in a row and they make a little sentence like Mike is gay or something like that. It's just that person is dedicated to taunting.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome. 1997, the 3rd edition came out. 2001, 4th edition. 2002, 5th edition. 2009 was when the iPhone version came out, and they also made one for the DS. And 2011, they made one for the Wii, 3DS, and for the iOS and Android, which is... It's Oregon Trail, but it's taking place after you've already made it to Oregon, and you're building a settlement. It's like that Simpsons game that you have. It's a village building game where you have to do tasks, you have to grow crops, and you have to do this, and it's really bad.
Oh, it sounds bad.
Yeah,
but no, I don't know. It's not the same.
No, right? It's not Oregon Trail. That's the biggest problem. I actually downloaded the Oregon Trail for my iPhone, and it's because the graphics are updated. I don't like it at all. It's just I miss the nostalgia. I miss the pixelated, awful looking oxen, the terrible wagon. Is it
the free version? Are they free?
No, I paid for this. I saw it. I was like, I need to research, and it's just so terrible. It's
99 cents.
Yeah. Not. I didn't say I paid a lot. I
found $1.
Yeah, it's just I had $1. I'll boot it up right now, and while we're talking, I'll show it to you, and you'll see the. And so people listening will get to understand live my disappointment.
Yeah, and it's quite a big game.
Yeah, it's just Mac. Oh no, Learning Company. There's a meteor. Okay, this is good radio.
It's a nice red banner.
Yeah. All right. So fades to black.
It's a good song.
And wagon crosses. So start this up. And no, don't access my goddamn contacts. Continue. All right. So I've traveled 462 miles. It's been 34 days. Health is good. Coins 86. Cash none, because you have to buy cash because it's a fucking iPhone game. All my members still alive. I'm ahead of schedule because I think they really dumbed it down. Look at this.
Yeah.
It's super cartoony. It's
a fairly big game.
Yeah.
Because it's saying I need to connect to Wi-Fi network.
Oh, Sarah has a broken leg. Anyways. It's a big game, and the only reason I got that months ago.
Yes. And
I was like, I can't delete it. I need to keep it until I do this stupid thing. Not this stupid thing. This amazing show.
Yeah.
And I mean, the game is so dumb, and the only reason I said the stupid thing was because anyway, whatever. I'm digging a hole.
This is backpedaling.
Yeah, such backpedaling. Yeah, one thing I think that would make the game better if there's an option, you go to picture, and then you can change it from the updated version to like the retro,
the classic,
like the pixelated crappy piece of crap.
That's fine. That's okay. Like so what you're saying is you want technology to stop. You want the advancement of technology to stop. You want to go back to the days. Do you want to use a typewriter while you're at it?
I enjoy typewriters. I'll have you know. No, the thing is like with a game like this is a special case. Like, I don't think any new Mario Kart, going back to our last episode, I don't think any new Mario Kart should be like, would you like to play this with fucking Super Nintendo graphics? Because that's stupid. Yeah. But with a game that people have such a weird kind of a link to, like, it's a very strong link. Everyone loves Oregon Trail, but they also are filled with a lot of hatred for it at the same time. Yeah. Because very few people could beat it. You died constantly.
I beat it once.
Didn't you say you watched someone beat it?
That sounds very gross. Just awkward silence.
I'm totally keeping that in.
Well, I've seen someone beat it. I think in a distant world, I did beat it once. Yeah, okay. I remember. Because I remember in elementary school, we only had a couple computers. Mm-hmm. So, like, it was just an absolute rush to get on there and end up having sign-up sheets. Mm-hmm. Because people wanted to play it, like, so bad. Like,
and it was a long game. Yeah. Like, you had to go across the entire friggin' continental U.S. Yeah.
But I got a question for you.
What's that?
Like, the way you can die in it. It says you can die from measles, snake bite, dysentery, typhoid, cholera, and exhaustion. And
diarrhea, drowning, and broken leg.
Okay, but what is dysentery?
Dysentery is, let's say you take a poop, and you don't wash your hands, and you got poo on your hands, and then you eat something, and you've ingested feces, which your body does not care for.
It's like pink eye for the mouth?
Yes, it's pink eye for the digestive system, not just the mouth. Like, I think. Yes. Typhoid, I think that's a blood illness.
Yeah, no, I think that is a blood illness.
Yeah, and because Typhoid Mary was a woman in freaking like Boston or something. She was a nurse who didn't die from typhoid, but gave everybody else typhoid.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, the thing is when I think Typhoid Mary, I think of the comic book character that hung out with Deadpool. But who I still don't really understand. What is cholera?
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah, well, this...
Wait.
Okay, so...
Cholera. Okay, let's see here. Cholera is an infection in the small intestine caused by the bacterium cholerae. The main symptoms are profuse watery diarrhea and vomiting.
So basically, if you were on the Oregon Trail, there's a very good chance you would shit yourself to death.
Great.
From either dysentery, cholera, or just plain old diarrhea.
It says transmission occurs primarily by drinking water or eating food that has been contaminated by the feces.
Maybe that's
of an infected person.
So it's
if
like
it's just poop, that's whatever. You can skate by. But if someone actually is already infected, then yes.
It's like a zombie version of dysentery. If we got dysentery correct. Mm-hmm. Let me just... Okay, go. Yeah, so the thing... there were three main parts of Oregon Trail. Death, obviously, because you always come to that river, and you have to make the choice. Like, do you find a place where the river's not there and cross there, or do you ford across? Every time I forded across the water, I would always lose members of my family.
Oh yeah, no, you're losing something if you're going in the water.
Yeah.
No matter what, there's no perfect way to go across.
No, and that was one of the most frustrating things, because if you take too much time, like there's a time limit, you have to get to Oregon in a certain amount of days, and it's nuts. It's very stressful. It's a very stressful game for a little kid.
It is,
because you're just like, I don't want to poo to death.
It's like, Mommy, what's cholera?
Okay, so dysentery is an inflammatory disorder of the intestine, especially of the colon, that results in severe diarrhea containing mucus and or blood in the feces. How do you get this? Symptoms normally present themselves, which is a close mechanism, diagnosis, treatment, prognosis. God damn it. Mechanism? No. That's viral. Okay. Results from viral infections, bacterial infections, or parasitic infestations. So okay, basically you just get dysentery.
Okay.
Not from poo. I was apparently had that confused with cholera.
Yes.
Yeah. Hunting was always a fun thing.
Yep.
You could hunt for bison, deer, elk, rabbit, squirrels, or bear, and I was never good at that. Whenever you'd hunt, I would only find rabbits, and so my family's starvation was a huge problem.
Because rabbit is such a lean meat too, so yeah.
Just keeping it real there, Paul. Thank you.
That's not a part of the game. Doesn't matter.
It's still rabbit wouldn't feed your family for very long at all. Just one rabbit? No.
Back when I was on the trail.
Yeah. But I think a huge draw for it, and one of the biggest memories that not many people talk about, because Oregon Trail they usually kind of remember vaguely.
Yeah.
Is the naming things like I poop butt munch or whatever I named the person earlier. I remember people just crowded around the computer. Okay, we're starting a new game because we've died again. What should we name them? It's like butt. Poo. Oh. Oh God.
They're bad words, but they're not crazy bad, so they're like elementary bad words.
Yeah, we didn't know the crazy bad. Like butt was just like, oh God. Remember in elementary, someone would did someone ever call you a butt, and then you would just be really hurt? Just
a butt?
Yeah, it's like,
you're a butt.
Why would you say that? It's just
who does that?
Yeah, it's like you smell like duty. What? I smell fine. I just had a bath last night.
She gets so offended by it.
Yeah, and like now, like someone can walk up to me and call me a fuckhead, and I'll just be at worst confused.
Yeah,
like why did that happen? But not particularly hurt. And yeah, I remember one of the first times I was ever caught swearing by my parents.
Ooh.
Oh God! Like I'd fallen down the stairs. And I said shit, and then my dad like upstairs. What did you say? I was like, I said shoot. It's like really? It's like, yeah, you better have said. I was just down there like nursing my wounds, and I'm just like, why am I getting abused?
Yeah. No, but I remember when Fox first came out.
Oh,
and I didn't really know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it was. There were a lot of like cool shows on there, so I'm like, hey, I think I'm gonna like this station. So I wanted to tell my mom. I'm like, hey, I like this, and I remember saying, like, Mom, like, there's this new station called Fox, and she kind of like she didn't say a word. She just came in, and it was more that I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Look,
but you don't. Did she figure out?
She figured out it was Fox.
Okay.
And it is whatever. It was just a mistake. But you could see she was definitely disappointed. Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, be mad at me. Yell at me. Yell at me, please. Yeah.
If they just look at you and just like sigh and shake their head, you're just like, nothing in life can make up for what I just did.
Like, I failed them.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when I was a very little kid, I had a number of speech problems.
Yeah.
I couldn't pronounce TH sounds. I couldn't do R's. And I lived in Swift Current.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I was very young. I thought it was great because I knew the house, and that was about it. But apparently...
This house is awesome.
I remember watching Looney Tunes specifically. But I remember... I don't remember this. I've just been told this. There was apparently a nun that lived across the street that, because of my speech impediment, she every time she babysat us a number of times because who can you trust if not a nun?
Yeah.
But yeah, so a truck would drive by and she's like, "What just drove by?" And I'd say, "Fuck." Yeah. And she would kill herself laughing. And so. Already from a very young age, I was being mocked, not just by any random person, but by a nun.
Great.
Which is that's a bad start.
That's horrible.
That's a very bad start. But yeah, I remember having to do speech therapy and stuff, and the phrase that I had to say was this, that, and the other thing, which as a kid, I sounded like a mobster by saying dis, dat, and the other ting.
Oh, nice.
Which, it was, thing is it's the only thing I have trouble with now is occasionally if I'm doing a voice and I try to say anything that has an R after a consonant, and then it just becomes like weirdly elegant. It sounds. It sounds like it's sort of British. I should say I was planning on doing this entire episode in a spooky, scary voice like this, but I didn't know if I could really keep it up the entire time. It's it's a little distracting, but I'll try it right now. It's also a little hard to understand. One of the biggest problems with Oregon Trail was that not only could your family die, but the oxen could die.
Yes.
That was terrible.
Illness and broken legs?
Yes.
That was a boisterous laugh.
It's just so stupid.
Sounds like you're Dracula underwater.
It's sort of like the Monster Mash voice.
Yes.
I was working in the
I
lab.
love that song.
This was that. My feels terrified. Weird enunciation and emphasis.
On the wrong
syllable. Yeah. Did you ever play Yukon Trail?
Yukon Trail?
Yeah, there were a number of knockoffs, same company.
Yes.
But like, if people liked Oregon Trail, maybe they'd like Yukon Trail.
I like Shagganappy Trail.
You played Shagganappy? Is that a... Oh, you're just making fun of me now.
I wasn't intent. I wasn't intending on making fun of you.
I know. This is, yeah. Anyways, Yukon Trail was Seattle... Oh, god damn it. Seattle to the Yukon in 1897. I wrote down Seattle to August. So you travel through time and space.
Seattle is the new month.
Yeah. And it's the gold rush. And like you could choose a character. Just like at the beginning of Oregon Trail, you can choose your profession, which gives you different perks. If you're a carpenter, you can your wheels and stuff are a bit more sturdy, shit like that. But with Yukon Trail, you could pick people who had like either a greenhorn to the whole mining thing, an experienced person, or a woman.
Or a woman
who didn't get a name.
Just woman.
I guess they people refer to her, I think, as Louise. But
Louise.
But yeah, the thing that I
call her Broad.
You know that fucking bitch. Just take my fucking gold.
You killed my oxen.
Anyway, I don't know what that was. Amazon Trail, where. This to me, because Oregon Trail, okay, that happened. Yeah. Yukon Trail, that happened. Amazon Trail, your character has a dream, and he's contacted by an Incan jaguar man, and he's in the States when he has this dream. Wakes up.
Played this?
No, I read this.
Oh, okay.
Person wakes up from the dream, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, probably. Belém, Brazil. There's an accent. I wrote it down. Yeah. I don't. So French would be the A sound, but.
Sure. I took Spanish.
Really? Mm-hmm. I never had the option. Anyway, so you go from Belém, Brazil to the secret Incan city, which didn't have a name, apparently. And it took place in the present, which was 1994. So if you watch it now, you'd see like lots of shirts tucked into jeans and stuff like that. And
nice.
Mullets.
Yeah. Sweet. Socks and sandals?
Yeah. I saw, when we were at Walmart the other day, I saw a kid with an epic mullet.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why that's still
was
there.
it purposely like that? Or like did his
He was a
parents
kid.
do that?
He was a kid, like
okay,
12.
Oh, okay.
Like he had no choice. He went to school like that, probably was picked on and didn't understand why.
I remember a couple of my friends got suspended from school because they pinned a guy down and cut off.
Oh, they cut off the party?
Like the rat tail. Like, yeah,
no more party. It's business. Business 24/7 now.
I was wondering why you're saying party. That's cool.
Yeah. Business in the front, party in the back. Yeah. He's like Radical Larry now. He went from Larry to Radical Larry.
It's radical.
All business all the time.
That's wicked
awesome. There was online, there's Thule Trail, which to me, I immediately think like Lovecraft, like Cthulhu stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because Thule sounds like a demon.
Yeah, it does.
All it is going from Chicago to Santa Barbara for a music festival in 2007. Which,
taking a Greyhound.
Like, fuck off. It's just like, it's like everybody piles into the station wagon. And it's like, we ran out of munchies. It's just like, oh, fuck off.
Find the nearest dealer.
Yeah. And I just wondered, because you can't die of dysentery these days unless you're in a third world country. But between Chicago and Santa Barbara, you can't die of dysentery. You have to really fuck up somehow to get dysentery or cholera. Broken arm.
Share a needle.
Yes.
Get the HIV.
You've picked up a hitchhiker. It's very spooky. And he says he knows where he can get some good shit.
Turned British.
It's always been sort of British. I don't know what it is.
It's just a mixed bag of
accents. It's a voice that spans the continents.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hop the pond there then. Fallout Boy had a game in 2008 where, again, this one was super vague. You start somewhere and end somewhere.
Fallout Boy the band?
Yeah.
They had a game?
Mm-hmm. A freaking Oregon Trail inspired game, which...
Okay.
Yeah, all it is...
Let's fly in our private jet. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a concert tour, and this is after they've been 2008. When did they get... Yeah,
I was roughly about that time.
I graduated 2003, and I remember that there were, Fall Out Boy had been a thing for a while by that point. Maybe they came out, 99? Late, 99, 2000. Yeah, you look that up. And finding that out is, Fall Out Boy is not cool, so they should not be... Okay, Oregon Trail is also not cool, but they're two separate areas of not cool, you know?
Yeah.
One is emo, wearing eyeliner, and one is trying not to die as you cross the continental United States to make a place for your family. Live the life of a farmer. Yeah, so... Yeah,
it's 2001, 2009, and they're on hiatus.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
That means they haven't broken up officially. But, Fall Out Boy should not have a goddamn Oregon Trail clone. I checked it out. It's terrible. I just started out and just randomly grabbed shit just to see if I can get a bit of an idea of the game, and I didn't spend enough money because I did not care. I was just okay, 2 of these, 3 of those, and blah blah blah, and then they all died of dysentery. Yeah. They actually died of dysentery. Is that the...
That's the Oregon Trail game.
Oh, Jesus.
I was downloading it as we were speaking.
Yeah, great. So. Yeah, you're going to have minutes of fun with that game.
Yeah?
Yeah, just minutes, and then you'll just... everything about this is sad.
Just the intro kind of looks like the Reading Rainbow intro.
Oh, yeah, it does.
LeVar Burton.
Or the More You Know star. Meteor that flies by looks like the More You Know. Jesus, we're dating ourselves so much, right?
Marijuana causes short-term memory loss.
Is that a message on there?
No.
Oh, I thought Oregon Trail's just remember, kids.
You found a plant.
Yes. Will you smoke it? It's just just wandering along. It's I've never seen this kind of plant before. Yeah. I should burn it.
That's awesome.
And the last one I told you about, you can also download right now. It's right at the moment of recording. There is apparently a 66% sale, I guess, and you can get it for 99 cents. It's the Oregon Trail, where you and your people travel from Washington, D.C. to, I think, California to escape zombies. And as you go, you buy parts for your car, you can get upgrades and stuff like that. And you can take jobs at towns and stuff to get, equipment and things like that. It's pretty cool. It's like Oregon Trail, except a bit more advanced. You can do more. Huh. It's kind of cool. It's, and oh yeah, it also looks super retro. I'll bust this up. Well, that's a phrase people use. Yeah, I'm going to bust it up for you on my iPhone. Yeah, Jesus. I've turned the sound up. It's made by the Men Who Wear Many Hats. Yes, 80s retro theme song.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And I'll just show this to you. Listen to that awesome 80s inspired music. See, station wagon.
Looks like the station wagon from Revenge of Babysat. Or Revenge of Babysitting?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, so, got fuel, food, zombie activity, next landmark, stuff like that. And, it's It's really cool. I'd show you more, except I don't want this entire podcast just being like, look at my iPhone apps. Just like,
listen to my iPhone apps.
Yeah, like the difference is like these were relevant. I don't want to start a trend though. Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, this game, the original one, you played the first bit of the game a lot.
Yeah.
Because you go until you die, or you go until like whenever something happens, you run out of food, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you start over again. So you got to do that whole first leg again.
Yeah.
That was mine. That was always me.
Just the loop of death and reincarnation.
Yeah.
And death and reincarnation.
Well, it's like playing like an NHL game where like if you're playing a season and you lose one game, start over again. Like you wanted to do the whole thing without losing a game.
Yeah. Oh god, those crazy video game perfectionists. Yeah, that's nuts. One thing about Oregon Trail, this is a shirt that you can buy. It shows the old screen. It says you have died of dysentery.
Yeah.
Would you get that shirt?
Yes, I would.
I totally would too. That'd be fucking awesome fantastic. Shirt. Yeah. I've ran out of notes. This is the first time this has happened. I don't know. It's an old game. It's a good game. If you haven't played it, you can find copies of it. We've already. Oregon Trail I prefer over the new Oregon Trail in terms of iPhone, Android bullshit.
One game that I remember was Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I loved that whole thing. Did you ever see the game show? The kids' game show?
Yes, I did.
That was amazing.
Yes, I did.
And frustrating. I watched it all the time and don't know anything of geography.
Yeah, exactly.
But as these episodes have gone on, I think this is the 14th. That's because I know the alphabet so well. I think this is the 14th episode, and I've as these episodes have come out, have demonstrated my lack of knowledge of anything that's actually useful. Or I know a lot about a lot of things, none of it ever handy.
Yeah.
Except now and then it's just like, do you know that rice is how you deal with wounds, rest, ice, compression, elevation? I don't know where I learned that.
Hey.
But it's handy. It
is.
Yes, they would have been able to use that in the Oregon Trail when you die of a broken fucking leg.
Yeah, just chop it off.
Just put them in the back of the wagon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like sit on the back and watch for
Until
Indians.
it heals.
Yeah. Just splint it up and wrap it tight.
Yeah.
Stupid ass settlers. You know what they should do? An Oregon Trail mod where it's the Donner Party.
The Donner Party.
Do you not know what the Donner Party is?
Nope.
There was a group of settlers also. They were trying to get from, I think, to California. And they took a route through the mountains. And then they had to resort to cannibalism because they were so horribly lost. So this game would basically be the last one to die.
Yeah.
Essentially. They've made a number of movies of it. There was one which kind of brought in the whole legend of the Wendigo.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you the name of it. It might just be Donner. I don't know. But it was pretty sweet. I liked it, and a lot of people didn't. But it was, guy comes to a settlement, human meat in the soup, stuff like that. This whole bunch of settlers have resorted to cannibalism and made it work.
Like did they fatten up the people they were planning on eating, or did just like what is it like kind of just a I'm lost the words free for all.
I think it was more of a free for all, but I guess they were on like a route that settlers normally took. So
okay,
and they battled Indians, and there's one scene with a guy climbing up a mountain for no apparent reason.
Americans?
I'm sorry, Native Canadians.
No,
these were Americans,
yes.
But yeah. Native Canadians doesn't have the same ring, does it? No. And so
you
call them
First
Native.
Nations.
If you call them Natives, then they get upset.
Yeah.
My stepbrother was Métis, so
yeah.
So both of them probably.
One word you should never use is chug.
Oh God, no! I called my stepbrother that,
Ooh.
and he called me a spick.
What?
I don't know. He doesn't know racial slurs like the white man.
This one seems appropriate.
And he says like, you spick. I'm just like, I'm not even Spanish. He's like, I was like, I'm not Spanish. I'm Italian. He's just like, same fucking difference. And I was just thinking, you know what? In the long scheme of things, probably pretty true.
Isn't Italian a wop?
Oh, there's a lot. There's wop, Guido, greaser, mainly wop. Do you know what that means?
No.
Without papers. I don't know why that's offensive.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, I know my racial slurs. I've looked into the history of honky.
Honky.
Which I think came from Milwaukee. Milwaukee, or the Midwest, because of the Bohunks, which were Dutch, I think, and the Middle East. Oh God, the Midwest is filled with like Germans and Dutch and stuff like that in the United States, and so Bohunk was a
Bohunk.
Yeah, so you called it honky.
Sweet.
Yeah.
But speaking of Milwaukee, I remember a Chris Farley skit where he's on that Japanese game show.
Yeah,
and like when Mike Myers he's just like, oh, Rory Templeton. It's like from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey guys, I don't know what's
It's like the concierge recommended that we go see a game show.
Yeah,
we didn't know we wanted to see a game show, not be on a game show.
Yeah. Was Phil Hartman the host?
No, it was Mike Myers. It was Mike Myers.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
And then it was one of the Baldwins.
He was one of the guests.
And then one of the chicks, I forget what shows she's been in.
I'm not sure. That sketch would never fly today.
Oh, no.
I'd be like, this is racist.
Yep.
Just like when we were talking about South Park with the checkout guy the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Buying pumpkins, one of which looked like an ass. It even had a hole in the right spot. It was creepy.
Or like in the Chappelle show with the nigger family.
Like, even though I know that the context makes that word... I don't want to use the word acceptable, but that's what the sketch was.
That word is never acceptable.
That's what I can't.
But the thing is, it's a white family named that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
it's just
kind of ironic, I guess.
It's super ironic. Yeah. Well, since this is the Halloween episode and we're kind of, not talking about Oregon Trail, I want to just kind of end this up with just talking about like Halloween.
Sure.
All right, so. You are a huge Friday the 13th nut.
Yes.
Yeah, I got an idea. Yeah, let's go quick topic thing, type of thing. So
sure.
You've been a fan of Friday the 13th for forever, right?
Yes.
When was the first time you saw it?
Probably when I was like 10.
Okay, was it the first one?
Well, the first one came out, I think it was 81 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, the first one. So I was -2. So
that doesn't mean that wouldn't have been the first one.
No,
you saw.
but it was the first one I saw.
Wow.
So like when as soon as I was probably about 10, maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah,
I saw it. My dad was one of those dads where like, all right, whatever, like it's not going to kill you to watch this kind of thing. Yeah. So
would you say that would be your like formative horror movie? Has that affected how you look at other horror movies, like even now?
No, The Exorcist.
Exorcist, okay.
That one got me because the first time I ever watched that was in the dark, pitch black, and
the spider walk part.
Yeah,
right?
That one just. That with that part, all it is like the whole spider walk doesn't affect me, but hearing her walk before you can see her, just honestly makes like the hair stand up.
Yeah. I think for the rest of this, I'm going to use this voice to keep it appropriate.
Sure.
And I immediately run out of things to say. Fuck. What's your favorite horror movie monster?
Like movie, like villain or monster or scary guy.
Villain and then monster.
Villain then monster.
Yes.
Is obviously Jason Voorhees.
Yes.
And then,
sort of both.
Yes.
The villain and the monster. He's sort of a zombie.
He's not really alive. Like
he's
not.
Can't
kill him.
He drowned.
Yes.
The first movie.
Yes, he did. Let's see. And monster.
Yes. Did you ever see the movie Monster Squad?
No.
Okay. So, there's a group of elementary students things. See? Elementary, they have the weird R thing. Anyway, they have a monster club called the Monster Squad.
Sweet.
And then, through a series of unfortunate events, Dracula, on a plane, him and Frankenstein's monster, the mummy, they crash land in the town, near the swamp, meet the swamp monster and recruit a werewolf with them. And then they try to take over the world somehow, and it's very vague. And
The children have to fight them and they win in the stupidest way, Paul. That Dracula has never been more impotent.
Impotent.
Yes. The reason I used the word impotent, and I've changed the voice because I started getting very, very British, was because Dracula is taken down by a piece of pizza put against his face. He drives a hearse as opposed to flying.
Was there garlic on the pizza?
Yes, there was. Right. Drives a hearse instead of flying, and uses dynamite as his main weapon. This is fucking Dracula. He doesn't need a hearse. Yeah. Anyways.
Dynamite.
Yeah. That was anyway. But back to your favorite monster. What would you say that would be? Or type of monster, or if you have a specific one in mind.
I was always a werewolf fan.
Yeah, werewolves are good.
I was always, yeah.
You've seen American Werewolf in London?
Yes.
American Werewolf in Paris?
Yes.
Dog Soldiers?
No.
Oh, that is a good movie.
Dog Soldiers?
Yeah.
I was always a fan of, like, the Underworld movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you are or not, but I was always fan of the Lycans. Those are cool.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that I don't like, but if it's on, I will watch it. It's very watchable. I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Resident Evil series. Like, I will always, like, shit on them, but the thing is, if someone's just like, hey, let's watch it, I'll groan, but I won't say anything, like...
Yeah.
And, yeah, I could tell the last time I mentioned it, like, weeks ago, he looked just disgusted with me. I just said, like, apparently, I was like, you know that Resident Evil? And you just kind of rolled your eyes, and I was just like, I should just stop talking about this forever. So, I felt bad. I was just, yeah.
That's all good, but, fuck, what was I going to say? Keep going, man.
One of the reasons that Resident Evil, just back on a thing, one of the reasons Resident Evil movie series bothered me so much was it was a defining horror thing for me.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Resident Evil, the game, first came out, and you go down the hallway and encounter your first zombie, and it cuts to comparatively now, shitty CG of the zombie turning around and looking at you, and that terrified me.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a video game do that, and just the noise and the music was perfect. The voice acting is atrocious in those games, but it's still, how often at this point had I heard characters actually speak?
Yeah.
I didn't care if they sounded like a bunch of goobers.
Yeah. But back to the horror movie thing. House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, good movie.
I think it's really good. Like it was kind of a cheesy movie. It was a little bit more of a comedy.
Yeah.
It had what's his face in it.
Chris Kattan.
Yes. And the scariest scene in that though is like it's something so simple. But when one of them puts the glasses on, where you could see
the ghosts,
see the doctors and stuff like that. But when she puts on the glasses and looks in the room and sees them operating, and then all of a sudden they just stop. And every single one of them turns around at the exact same time and just stares right at her.
Doesn't that woman get, like, raped by a ghost to death?
Yes.
That scene, like, that movie is cheesy. That scene seems super out of place. That haunted me.
It just ghost
rape. So creepy. And, oh, God, just thinking about it is so bad.
What would you even call that?
Ghost rape?
No, but, like, it's... You know how, like, the term, like, necrophilia?
Oh, okay.
Like,
maybe necrophilia, but it's forced necrophilia.
Oh, yeah.
Which probably serial killers have forced victims to do.
Because it's a ghost raping you.
Yeah,
okay? Yeah. Solid movie, though.
Yeah.
What
the monster in that, getting back to monsters, was terrible.
Yes.
Like, when it finally shows itself, the evil looks like an evil Christmas tree.
Yeah, it does.
It's really terrible.
Does. Yeah. What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Probably simply for rewatchability, I would say The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. Okay. Which I just found out when it first came out. Critics hated it and it didn't do well at all in the theaters.
Yeah.
And it's still considered one of the best. It's tough for me to figure what is my favorite horror movie because I love so many and they mean a lot to me. So yeah, probably The Thing, the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and if I had to pick a third, because I've apparently decided that I have to, Martyrs. Martyrs was fucked up.
Yeah.
That
was really fucked.
Session 9, that's a good one. That about wraps it up for time. We could talk about movies forever. We've talked about movies a lot. But thanks for helping me out.
No problem.
And to all the listeners, I hope you have a very spooky Halloween. This has been Geektionary.